Let's peep into the world of advertising. As I know, as soon as somebody says Facebook ads, we get a tiny headache. But there's good news. Don't be overwhelmed. LaShall's here to make this stuff make sense and feel easier. LaShall Dodson, I'm having a difficulty saying this, has 25 years of Fortune 500 experience. She looks a little older than 25, so maybe she started at 5, I don't know. She's a certified operations director and a certified meta ad strategist, which basically means she knows how to take chaos and simplify it and make it profitable. She gives good advice, she builds, she manages, and she scales advertising systems that actually is going to move the needle for your business. So if you've ever wondered when to stay organic and when to start paying to play, this session is for you. Let's welcome LaShall. Oops. Hold on. How do I do this, Jen? I need to unmute LaShall.
You're trying to unmute LaShall?
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me a second. Let's see. Bear with me.
I think I did it.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
You've done it. You've done it.
Get started, LaShall. So sorry.
Awesome. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Summer, thank you so much for the warm welcome. And I do apologize with my voice today. I've been sick for the last 3 days, so this is, I hope, the end of it. So here we go. So hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here and educate you about Facebook and Instagram ads. Today, we're going to focus on ad strategy, but not just what these same principles can be used for any marketing strategies, as the same underlying principles do apply. So my name's LaShall Dodson. I'm a business strategist and Facebook and Instagram strategist, a wife and mother of 2. I was in the corporate world for years, managing operations and privacy. And after years of working for corporate and seeing firsthand the need to restructure teams, processes, and marketing, I decided to take my skill set and share it with other business owners. So I started Dedicated Virtual Professional Services, where I help business owners with strategic growth planning, system setups, organic social media, and paid ads. I run Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn ads for companies to help them grow awareness and sales. I now specialize as a business and ad strategist, where I partner with businesses to develop and execute strategic advertising campaigns that align with their unique objectives. And I call it the marketing trifecta. It's paid ads, organic social media, and email marketing. So let's talk about the difference between paid ads and posting organically, because a lot of people get confused on some of the differences. Paid ads allow you to reach a broader targeted audience beyond your current followers. Organic content is typically only seen by your existing followers or users who come across your posts through your own feed or by searching. Now, when we talk about targeting, paid ads offer advanced targeting options. So with paid ads, we can really reach a specific audience based on factors such as age, gender, location, device usage, browsing habits, interests, and behaviors. And it really gives us more control over who sees our content. Where organic posts reach your current audience, and those are your followers. And you can't specifically target individuals outside of that group. So with paid ads, you have full control over where and when your ad appears if you use manual placement. So that's important. We're going to talk about placement later on. And with organic posts, those are really subject to the platform's algorithm. It determines how often and where they appear. As a result, your organic content may not always show up in users' feeds unless they engage with your page frequently. The last metrics I saw was that on Instagram, only about 10% of our followers see our organic posts. And on Facebook, it was the last number I saw was about only 4% truly see our organic posts. So that's just really crazy, right? I mean, it's great for awareness because we're reaching all kinds of other people. But a lot of people think when you talk about ads that boosting posts are running ads. So boosting posts are kind of, this is when you post something on Facebook or Instagram and you get this pop-up to boost your post. So you don't really have a lot of choices to select. And by doing that, you are not running ads. That is totally different. It's called boosting a post. So please never boost a post. If you remember one thing today, remember that. And here's why. When you boost a post, you don't have the ability to really narrow down your target audience. So literally, Facebook will send out that to all kinds of people who may never buy your product. So I've audited Facebook and Instagram ads accounts, and let me tell you, I've seen it all, from wasted budgets to misaligned targeting, underperforming creatives, and tracking nightmares. So what I want to do today is walk you through the 12 biggest mistakes that I see over and over again. So let's start with the first mistake I see is that people don't have a clearly defined goal. I like to start backwards and determine your long-term goal. Is that leads, sales, awareness? What is it that you really want to accomplish, and what needs to be done immediately to reach that goal? Then you got to go backwards and back into what are the sub goals to accomplish that. So for example, this could mean that sales is the ultimate goal, and the secondary goal would be brand awareness, foot traffic, those kinds of things. So it's important to understand this because you may need to run multiple campaigns to hit multiple objectives. The second thing is not being specific enough when determining who your target audience is. Think about specific people you want to reach. Spending time to audience mind is key, and it's a big piece that people overlook or move too fast through. You want to make sure you're reaching that target market by looking at more than just location, gender, and age. I have a whole process for finding the right audience to run ads to. There are several different ways to do this. You can create custom audiences, lookalike audiences, retargeting. There's just so much that can really be done to zone in that market to your target audience. Audience selection is one of the most crucial elements for campaign success. However, many advertisers struggle with audience targeting, which can lead to poor performance, wasted budget, and missed opportunity. And a lot of people will just run to a broad audience, and broad has its place. I do use broad in ads, but I don't use a broad audience for everything. The third thing is going to be your market research. So that's really just understanding what your ideal client's pain points are, what type of challenges they face, and what are their goals. You then need to position yourself in the market. And this kind of goes back to what Michelle was talking about earlier. What is your unique value proposition? For example, mine is I'm a business strategist who helps people in their business with strategy, management, delegation, organic social media, and I also run Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn ads. So I truly understand your business first, and then I market your ads to your business. So what is it that you can offer that makes you stand out? That's really what you have to think about whenever you're doing organic or paid. The fourth thing is not ensuring proper tracking and KPIs. Do you have a Facebook pixel set up and firing correctly? And are you tracking the proper events on your websites, landing pages, buttons? Does everybody even know what a Facebook pixel is? I guess let me kind of stop there. So let's back up. Let's back up and let's talk about a Facebook pixel. It literally is a piece of code. It's a very small piece of code that you place on your website to track user activity and measure the effectiveness of your meta advertising campaigns. By having this, it allows us to retarget and build our audience and track our conversions. So it monitors users' actions on your website, such as your page views, button clicks, and purchases. You have to set those up. They're called standard events, right? It also allows you to target users who have previously visited your website with ads on Facebook and Instagram. We can create custom audiences based on website activity. like those who have viewed specific pages on your website or made purchases or left something in the cart, like they made it all the way to the cart and it's sitting there and they never checked out. It also helps us find lookalike audiences, and lookalike audiences are one of my favorites along with retargeting campaigns. You can find users who are similar to your existing customer list or your existing website visitors. The other thing you want to make sure you have set up is conversion API. So this is different than a website pixel. This relies on the client side tracking. So it's a conversion API. It sends data directly from the server to the advertising platform. So it's literally server to server. And then you also need to determine what key performance indicators or KPIs you want to measure that is relevant to the campaign objective. You have to tie it back to that campaign objective. So now let's talk about number 5. Number 5 is the ad type and placement. So with placement, you want to choose where your audience hangs out. Most of the time I run ads on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Then you determine what kind of ad to run, whether that's a carousel, video ad, or single image. And if you're trying to showcase multiple products or services, you would want to use a carousel ad. Video ads are good for brand awareness and storytelling. The key thing to know here is that most of the time we see reels, which are called video ads. Those help bring awareness to you, but it isn't the best at selling. Carousels are great for showcasing the different things you offer and also work well for sales. And for placement, I always select manual placement, and I choose my platform and my audience. I do not recommend you letting Meta decide because the algorithm could take you in a different direction and to a different target audience. For example, you could get an audience of freebie seekers instead of an audience of prospective buyers. And with the newest Meta release of Andromeda, we are seeing a need for variety and volume right now, which means we need to be putting more ads out in a shorter amount of time to really let them run and let them test and see what works. Number 6 is your copy and your creative. So these are the words and the pictures. Do you have a clear value proposition, and is it clearly communicated? You want to capture the audience's attention and get them to stop long enough to read your pitch. You must have a call to action or it's not worth running an ad. So what that means is, what do you want the person reading to do? Do you want them to DM you, download something, sign up, purchase, schedule a call? You must call it out and you must guide them on the next steps. Having catchy images or videos is critical to get people to stop for a second. And then your hook and your copy need to be engaging enough to pull them in and make them want to keep reading to get to that call to action. On your organic posts, you always want to have a call to action. Start thinking about everything you post, whether it's ads or organic. Everything should have a purpose. The more people who engage with you, the more the algorithm likes you and will start working for you. This doesn't mean you have to pitch every time in a call to action. A call to action could be a pitch, but it could also just be leave me a comment or ask them a question and say comment below. The power of storytelling in ads is also very big right now. In the world of Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, storytelling is a buzzword, right? It's the secret weapon that turns cold audiences into loyal customers. Because people don't just buy products or services, they're buying stories, emotions, transformations. So you want to put all of that in your content, whether it's paid or organic. Number 7 is your budget. So you need to define your overall ad spend budget for the month, the launch, or the year, whatever your situation is. Then you want to back it down from, say, launch to month to week and then day. I do not recommend setting a lifetime budget. I set daily budgets at the ad set level. Otherwise, all your budget could be used up in just a few weeks if you allow Meta to decide by selecting lifetime budget. Believe me, I have seen this mistake where someone's lifetime budget, which could be for a 3-month campaign, was used in 10 days because of how they had their campaign set up incorrectly. Campaign scheduling. So scheduling your campaign is just as an important piece of the puzzle. And I see people set this up quickly and selecting certain things or allowing Meta to use their discretion. You want to be in charge of how your things are set up and how your money is spent. Determine your optimal start and end dates based on your goals, your launches, your sales. I never recommend shutting ads off and on because they have to go through a learning phase. And every time you're shutting them off or on, you're restarting that learning phase and they'll never get out of that phase. So you have to take that into account. And the back end of Business Manager and Ads Manager can be very, very tricky because there is a lot to set up. So you do need to go slow. Let's talk about number 9, which is ad policy guidelines. Many times I see people who are not familiar with ad policy and run ads that violate these policies. You want to review what's considered restricted content, prohibited content, and what are the specific guidelines. It is good practice to familiarize yourself with these policies before you start running ads so your ad account does not get shut down. You'll need to submit your ad for approval. So every ad needs to be reviewed prior to Meta allowing them to run. And this will take some time, so you want to plan ahead. I recommend you submit one ad at a time so you can track any changes that are needed. If Meta doesn't approve an ad, it will explain why and then send it back to you to correct and resubmit. But the key thing is submit one ad at a time. After that's approved, then submit your next one. The reason is you don't want to make a change across multiple ads. Let's say you submitted 10 and you've made the same mistake across all of them. Now you're correcting 10 and resubmitting them. And you will get flagged for the more ads that you have to resubmit. So one ad at a time, get it approved, then submit your next one. Number 11 is testing and optimization. So many times people create ads and then they don't look back for 30 days. So you want to test your ads for 7 days to really understand what's working. If you find something not performing well, then just change one thing at a time and then test for another 7 days. So don't go in and change the copy, the creative, the hook all at once, or you will have no idea what didn't work for you. So just change one thing at a time for 7 days. And number 12, after 30 days, analyze your overall performance, because many people don't look at the insights that this provides, right? You can literally go into Ad Manager and see all kinds of results and metrics, and it can be overwhelming. But this information can help you improve your campaign, what worked well and what didn't for that next month or next launch or next campaign. And you also want to be looking at, did I meet my ultimate goal? So as you can see, there is a lot that goes into making a successful ad campaign. So now we're going to talk about before and after strategies, because I just gave you a ton of information. So before ads, what I normally see are people who are overwhelmed with Facebook Business Manager. They're frustrated with poor ad results and wasted budget. And they're struggling to turn engagement and impressions into sales. And they're unsure how to reach their ideal audience. After working with an ad strategist, we make sure your business manager is set up properly. You're getting consistent, high quality leads. There's more confidence in understanding your ad metrics, and you're connecting with your audience. Running Facebook and Instagram ads can be overwhelming between setting up campaigns, targeting the right audience, creating effective ads, and tracking performance. And it's easy to feel lost in the weeds. The truth is, most businesses struggle with Facebook ads because they don't have a clear strategic plan in place. And I always start with that plan. We don't build anything out until we have a strategic planning session and we know what that ultimate goal is, and we work backwards. But what if you could skip the confusion and fast track your way to profitable campaigns? So what you will master with my ad strategy, if you follow my strategy, you're going to be able to identify and reach your ideal client. You're going to have professionally designed ads. You're going to maximize your return on ad dollars spent and understand what is working and, more importantly, what is not working. Whether you're new to marketing or looking to elevate your existing campaigns, I hope this information delivers powerful insights and proven techniques to optimize your ad performance. It's all about learning how to leverage data-driven strategies, craft compelling ad creatives, and fine-tune your approach for tangible, transformative results. And I love doing this through the marketing trifecta with paid ads, organic social media, and email marketing. So after listening to these tips today, I hope you feel more confident and have more insights around running ads. Running Facebook and Instagram ads can be overwhelming between setting up campaigns, targeting the right audience, creating effective ads, and tracking performance. It's easy to feel lost in the weeds. The truth is, most businesses struggle with Facebook ads because they don't have a clear strategic plan in place or understand how to properly set up the back end of Meta Business Manager and Ads Manager, because there is a little tech setup that's needed. I hope you learned something new today and something that will help you with either running ads or doing organic posts. Remember a few key areas. Identify and reach your ideal client. Create ads that speak to your audience. Maximize your return on ad dollars spent. And understand what is working and, more importantly, what is not working. It's all about learning how to leverage data-driven strategies, craft compelling ad creatives, and fine-tuning your approach for tangible, transformative results. And the marketing trifecta with paid ads, organic social, and email marketing can be one of the most powerful tools that you set up in your business. So when I work with clients, I offer monthly services where I do everything. I'll do the setup, the monitoring, the optimization, all of the strategy. This is a completely done for you service. It's on an ongoing monthly basis where I continually monitor your ads to bring your strategy to life, because we're constantly refreshing and retargeting as well. That's a huge part of the strategy in the monthly plan. A lot of people like the one-time ad setup, where you can have someone come in, and for me, it usually takes around 4 to 6 weeks, where I set everything up for you and give you the strategy, create your campaigns for you, the first set. You're going to provide creatives, and I'm going to show you how to run reports so that you can continue to do your own testing and your own optimization. So that's another way people like to work with us when they're just not comfortable getting started on their own ads. And then we also offer VIP days for people who have problems or need a really quick setup, something that we can do in one day. And a lot of people use it for actually troubleshooting issues or their actual strategy. And we can do that over a couple days as well. So I have a free guide for you today about the things we went over in the presentation. And then for anyone who is here today who reaches out before the end of the month, I will waive the one-time setup fee and also take 20% off your first month. I'm happy to help, so please reach out if you guys have any questions. And if you signed up for the VIP experience for this summit, you're going to get some amazing items, including my VIP gift, which is a 45-minute strategy call. It's not a discovery call where I'm going to try to sell you. It is a true strategy call where we're going to talk about your business, and I will give you actionable tips to implement in your business. So I know there are so many amazing gifts, VIP gifts, and it's not too late to sign up for those VIP gifts. Thank you so much for having me today. Please raise your digital hand if you have any questions.
Floor is open to questions. We can take one or a maximum of 2 questions. So the first chance given to first people that raise hands. Go, Al.
Yeah, LaShall, I'm just wondering for Facebook ads, what sort of percentage, you know? For example, you're running maybe your targeted audience, you already have it. For 1,000, targeting 1,000 audience, you know, how many leads do you think you manage to get, like in terms of percentage wise, you know, like 10% or 15% or 20%? What is the number of leads that you're able to get when we're running our ads?
Yeah,
And
it
how long?
really depends. Go ahead.
And how long the duration? Like what you say, you cannot just like start, stop, right? So what sort of period of time can you need to do that in order to get a continuous leads coming in?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it depends on what kind of audience we're talking about, right? Is it a brand new audience to you? Is it an audience that you already have? Like are we doing a warm buyer list? Are we doing retargeting? So all of that really, really is different. I can
Brand
give you
new.
what, say that again?
Brand new, like starting off everything from scratch.
Brand new? Yep. So let me tell you about a client that I had a brand new audience. She was selling a course and it was a controversial course. So we only ran her ads in Instagram stories. And I was like, oh my gosh, Instagram stories only. I don't know if we're going to be able to really get these leads. So we spent a ton of time really dialing in on who her market was and who we needed to target to try to get these leads. We only had 40 days to run ads as well. So I started by warming up a very large audience. I took a broad audience of like 5 million people and I warmed them up for about 7 days. Then I kept that same 5 million people and I narrowed I then switched it from an awareness campaign because I just wanted to throw awareness out there. It's much cheaper. I like to start a lot of campaigns that way because I get a bigger bang for people's buck. Ran an awareness campaign for 7 days, got a ton of people. In the end, then I switched over to, there's a lot of strategy here, but then I switched over to running a traffic campaign for a couple days. Then I switched very quickly to a sales campaign because our ultimate goal was to have them purchase a course. We ran her ads for 40 days, only 40. And she spent $1,810. And we brought her 121 sales. And if you multiply that by the course value, she made $35,000. So that was a huge, huge campaign. That was a huge success. And not all of them are that successful. I have other clients who we run leads every single month. They're getting anywhere from, their ad spend is about $1,000. And they are running lead campaigns. So they're collecting emails and phone numbers because their ultimate goal is book a call. We are getting around anywhere from 6 to 10 leads every single week. So those are just a couple examples.
Thank you, LaShall. We have less than 30 seconds for Brenda's question. We are running out of time. Brenda, very fast.
Very fast. My question is there a way to tell when a solopreneur if a solopreneur sits down with you, can you help them to determine whether they're ready to do paid ads yet?
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
We would talk. Yep, you're welcome. We would talk through that. I'd want to see what you're selling, who you're selling to. The value of what you're selling is one of the key things we're going to look at. But yes, short answer is yes, we could tell.